My name is Carolyn, and I destroyed the only man who ever made me feel safe with a joke. It happened in my living room on a Friday night, between half sips of white wine and my friends' laughter echoing off the walls. We were playing a game. A dumb, twisted game. They dared me to describe Lloyd, all of him. I was tipsy, a little bitter after a silly fight we had earlier. So, I said something cruel. Something so small, so sharp, it cut deeper than I could have imagined. I laughed with my friends as I let them guess how small he was. I never knew Lloyd was standing in the hallway. He was holding his keys. He never said a word. He just walked out. That was 4 weeks ago. He has not called me. He has not come back. I have sent over 50 messages and gotten no reply. And the worst part? His mother answered the phone. Not him. But before I get into the rest of the story, I just want to take a moment to say a big thank you to every single one of you who has subscribed to this channel. You are the reason stories like mine reach people who need to hear them. To all our new and returning viewers who are yet to subscribe, please do. It is your support that fuels this channel and helps us keep going. I cannot wait for you to hit that subscribe button. And remember, I would really love to hear your thoughts about this story in the comments. Alright, let me take you deeper into what really happened that night. Lloyd and I had been together for 5 years. He was calm, thoughtful, and nothing like the men I used to chase. We had talked about marriage. We were even looking at houses in Wichita, but there was always something unspoken between us. He was never the most confident in the bedroom, and I had a habit of oversharing with my girlfriends. That night, Maya and Danielle came over like they always did. They brought wine, gossip, and a new deck of ridiculous truth or drink cards. I should have stopped when the questions got too personal, but I was irritated. Lloyd and I had argued earlier that day over something silly, dirty dishes, I think. He stormed off and said he would be late. I thought he was still out. So when Danielle pulled a card that said, "Describe your partner naked in 1 sentence," I laughed and said, "Let me put it this way. I have seen baby carrots with more courage." The laughter that followed felt wicked and exciting. It gave me power, the kind I should never have used. What I did not know was that Lloyd had walked in 5 minutes before. He had heard the whole thing. He did not slam the door. He did not call my name. He just walked past the kitchen, grabbed his coat from the hanger, and left. I only realized he was gone when I went upstairs that night and saw his side of the closet half empty. And on my dresser, there was a note with my name written in his handwriting. I could not open it. Not that night. Not even now. Because deep down, I already knew what it said. I did not sleep the night Lloyd left. The house felt haunted. Every corner carried his absence. His cologne still clung to the hallway. His slippers were under the bed. His toothbrush was gone. That was how I knew it was not just a fight. It was a goodbye. The next morning, I texted him 15 times. By noon, I was calling. By evening, I drove to his workplace. They said he had taken some time off. I begged the receptionist to give me any information. She just looked at me with quiet pity and said he had asked not to be contacted. The shame began to bloom in my chest like a slow-burning fire. That night, I opened my front camera and watched my own confession play back in my mind like a horror film. The words, the tone, the laughter, the betrayal. I remembered the look in his eyes as he walked past us, like a man who had just been shattered from the inside out. I called Maya. "Why are you freaking out?" She said. "It was just a joke. He is a grown man." But it was not just a joke. It was a wound I had ripped open with my own hands. A week passed. Then 2. No word from him. I tried his friends. They would not tell me where he was. I even stopped by his old apartment. It was empty. So I went to the one place I should have gone first. His mother's house. Mrs. Keller opened the door with a look that said she had been expecting me, but not happily. She invited me in politely. She always had a calm way about her. Warm tea, fresh flowers on the counter, gospel playing low in the background. "I know why you are here," she said, "but I need you to know something." She sat across from me and told me a story Lloyd never told me in 5 years. When he was a teenager, some cruel boys in gym class had humiliated him. Locker room jokes, locker room shame. They teased him, tormented him, and he never got over it. Not fully. "It took him years to trust someone again," she said softly. "And he told me you were the first woman who made him feel safe." That was his word. Safe. I could not breathe. He had never mentioned it. He had never hinted at it. And I, without knowing, had taken his deepest wound and laughed about it in front of other people. Mrs. Keller looked at me with eyes full of pain. "Carolyn," she said, "he loved you more than he trusted himself." I broke down on her kitchen floor. The silence he left me with was not just about embarrassment. It was about betrayal. I had turned into the very thing he thought he had escaped. And still I could not open that note. Not yet. I kept it on my nightstand, like a punishment. I stared at it every night before bed, and every morning when I woke up. Every day I told myself, tomorrow I will read it. And every night I lied, because part of me still hoped he would come back and explain everything face to face. But deep down, I already knew. He had nothing left to say. It was the third week when I finally picked up the envelope. I sat on the edge of our bed, no, my bed now, and stared at the way he had written my name. Not in anger, not in haste, just careful, like always. Lloyd had always been gentle, even when I was not. I opened the letter with trembling hands. It was not long. There were no insults, no rage, just truth. "Carolyn," I heard every word. I stood there, frozen, hoping it was someone else you were describing. But then I heard your laugh. That was what broke me. Not the words, the laugh. I trusted you more than anyone. I told you things I had never spoken aloud. I know people make mistakes. I do not hate you. I am just not sure I can be with someone who turns my biggest fear into a party game. You once told me you loved how safe you felt with me. I wish I could say the same. Lloyd. I sat with that letter pressed against my chest and wept like a child. I had not just hurt him. I had humiliated him. And what made it worse was that he had been nothing but good to me. Patient. Loyal. Devoted. He had loved me on my worst days. I could not even protect his dignity for one evening. I tried reaching out again after that, sent him a long message, told him I was sorry, told him I loved him, told him I would do anything to make it right. Days passed. Then I received one final message. "I forgive you, but I cannot come back to the place where I became a joke." That was when I knew it was truly over. I had not cheated on him with another man. I had not hit him. I had not screamed at him. But I had betrayed him, because betrayal is not always physical. Sometimes it is in the words you say when you think they cannot hear you. And once said, you cannot pull them back. I do not know where Lloyd is today. I imagine he is somewhere better, somewhere safer. As for me, I carry that letter with me everywhere now, not as punishment, but as a reminder. A reminder that love is not just about flowers and promises. It is about protection. It is about honor. It is about what you say when their back is turned. So, to anyone listening, protect the hearts that trust you. And never let your friends' laughter be louder than your partner's dignity. Because once trust shatters, there may be no way to piece it back. Thank you so much for staying with me through this story. If you felt something, if this touched a nerve, please drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you have ever said something you wish you could take back. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Your support means everything. It is what keeps stories like these alive. Until next time, protect what matters and never take trust for granted.